Sorry, bad hair day. Okay, so this is Grizzles, and he's going to sit here and he's going to be a good boy. All right, so we're going to have some fun. So I thought I'd read the first half of my first chapter in the Carnivore Catastrophe. And thank you for joining me. This is just meant to be a way to read my book in a different way, if you just want to kind of know what it's about, or for whatever reason. So anyway, Chapter 1, The Double Whammy. If you're a mother, there is little in this world more terrifying than your own twin boys gobbling 3 slices of their 16th birthday cake each, one leaving pink strawberry frosting on the edges of his mouth, the other lips murky and dark from Rocky Road, then being let loose on the streets days later in a perfectly legal fashion. Her babies were allowed, encouraged even, to snuggle up behind leathered wheels, left to pump accelerators at will in what some called cars, but police officers identified in driver's safety courses as fully licensed weapons. Come again, Beatrice? Quincy asked through a laugh, not believing the words out of her son's mouth. She dug through a counter strewn with ingredients and spices, finding her wooden spoon buried under a bag of flour. As she stirred the shredded potatoes and smoked cheddar cheese into Campbell's cream of chicken, America's unglamorous secret weapon of many a casserole she always maintained, she glanced at the stove clock. Well, this was fantastic. Her neighbors were due any moment for their Friday night barbecue, and her side dish wasn't even in the oven yet. She'd like to say this was a unique occurrence. Tonight, it was her turn to host, and she wanted to make sure everything was just right, as in no raw casserole this time. Even if she'd been powerless to an unfriendly storm that knocked out her electricity last time, she'd still served nothing but a little lump of tragedy. And Bobby wouldn't stop joking about it. A car. I hit a parked car. Now my hood's smashed and it won't go. Parked car. Beatrice shook her head. These boys would never stop teasing her, though it was unusual for Finn to be pretending some kind of crisis. Luca feigned them just to get her blood to spark. Luca was also the one who inspired her blood to spark with that drag racing fiasco last year. Finn's first few weeks of college must be simmering his serious shell, she thought with a wry smile. Right. Well, that's too bad, son. I wonder what the other car looks like. Beatrice popped the hash brown casserole into the oven, feeling ripe to show everyone this oven dish she'd found at an auction. The daisies done up in an array of Mediterranean hues, from boater's blue to the clearest, most turquoise bay of water, gave her a little squishy tinge of joy just looking at it. Was she being ridiculous? Probably. Mother, I'm trying to tell you something here. Will you stop what you're doing for a second? If you stop joking around for a second, she wanted to add. Still, she didn't want to discourage goofiness. Life made more sense with a little splash of that, and Finn could use more of it. Hang on, a police officer's calling me. Finn clicked to the other line. Now this was getting rich. Boy, did Luca train him well. She clicked the oven light on and bent down for a look. How was it that the simple thrill of an auction find last week could remind her there was a life beyond being a mother, beyond being an author of romance stories catering to a heroine who was nothing more than a glorified harlot, beyond a reader of realistic love stories that kept her up too late at night, beyond a wife of a disloyal late husband? Dishes. Somehow it all came down to little hand-painted flowers, something she liked that she didn't need a ruling on by a family or publisher. Oven on, check. Timer set, check. The end of Bobby's remarks, check. I'm back. If you're too busy, then I can call another time. Sweetie, how about a real update? Let me guess, after 2 mere weeks, you've already graduated college? It wouldn't surprise me, you know. Mama, my update is that I came close to totaling the car, and it's all my fault. Never one speeding ticket, never one parking ticket. All that next to Luca's illustrious total of 4. Bees hung her head with a sigh. The oven buzzed, and she set a bubbling mass of queso onto a tray as an appetizer. Pardon me there. As she doled out a fan of warm tortilla chips, she tried not to think about her great uncle. Not the darn will. Her gut churned with uneasy. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm flubbing this. Her gut churned with greasy unease at what lay ahead tonight. What would her cousin Marianne think of her hiring a commercial real estate agent just weeks after great uncle Mike's death? We'll send a picture to Luca and I, and we'll have a good laugh like Luca pulled me on me the last time. The line went as still as a sleeping schnauzer. Why wasn't he laughing? Even Luca never carried a joke too far. She felt her heart thump up like a storm. Newsflash, the kid wasn't joking? She clutched her hand to her forehead as panic officially seeped in. Finn, are you in the hospital? She whispered. I'm okay, no injuries at all. I messed up, Mama, like I said. Visions of her worst nightmares crept in. Are you sure you're not stuffed in a thin bed of one of those flimsy gowns and surgeons aren't waiting in the background, knives gleaming? Dear Lord, which hospital? Finn chuckled. Mom, I think I know what a dorm room looks like. There's no knives nearby other than a butter knife with my peanut butter on it. At the sound of that benevolent gale of amusement, her shoulders slacked. Son, are you really okay? Right as rain and even like PB&J, but my car's not. She felt her entire chest relax. Then mother mode of a different kind set in. So what happened? I was driving to debate club and texting the president that I'd be 5 minutes late, only there was mist in the air. I nailed the back of a truck on a street by my dorm. I don't remember knocking the side of the wheels. Bobby says my alignment must be off. Bobby? You told Bobby before me? She heard a gulp on the other end of the line. Bobby's better at emergency car scenarios. It's like he was picking his words carefully, wasn't he? Excuse me, I've handled plenty of breakdowns in my time. After your dad passed, I even enrolled us in those courses. You know, the ones where we learned to change a tire, oil, all that gunk even your dad didn't care to know. But I did. I know, Mama, I know. I mean, you wanted us to know it. Fine, I wanted you to know it. Finn, you of all people don't text and drive. You taught me that. Finn was not Finn was not the irresponsible ham. He was the honey-voiced, number-crunching, bookish sort, always there volunteering to read her drafts, cheeks gleaming at the steamy chapters, listened undistractedly to any word she uttered, and, ever since Tom died, to calculate which laundry detergent she should buy based on value and number of ingredients they could both pronounce. That they had a little robin's egg of emergency savings was thanks to the resourceful Finn, her teenage accountant. I know, I was worried I'd make a bad impression on the president. Now I've made quite the impression on the back of a Ford. I've never been sorry about anything, he murmured softly. Anyhow, I'll work extra so I can pay for the repairs. Beatrice sighed relief, a sense of responsibility. Plowing into a parked car or not, at least he felt like he should pay for it all. Fighting the urge to shriek and restate the obvious, "You ran into a parked car!" She took a deep breath as she said, as cool and calm as anything out of the freezer, No, son, just focus on your studies. You've barely attended your first semester of college, and this isn't going to derail you. Beatrice tapped into a list of car-related saviors in her head. I'll call Fanny. She'll know someone in College Station who can fix it. I'm sorry. This is your one get-out-of-jail-free card for an accident of your doing. Not only that, it's your one car, the only one I'll buy you. So be more careful next time, huh? I'll be as careful turning on that ignition as if I'm picking up a porcupine. And so that concludes the reading for this time. Okay. Hey, do you want to speak? Oh, oh. No. Okay. Well, he's the strong but silent type. Thank you for joining me. Okay. We'll see you again, hopefully.